Welcome back. We're going to be showing you today how to use filters on images, also to change the borders and so forth, features related to the borders. So what we're going to do is start off with a page like this. Here in this page you see two images on the right hand side. So let's click on the top one. The nav control bar for that image comes up with its related functions. If we click on this right hand side on this rounded border icon there, we can open up this options menu for the image, which is related to border details and also the filters on the image. So if we see here, we see that it has it's solid border width is 2 pixels, rounded corners is 3%. It's just slightly rounded, and we can see below no filters applied to that image. So let's now change the border style. We can make it dotted. We could make it dashed, double, and solid line. So we'll leave it solid. Let's increase its width by 3 pixels. Let's make it, instead of 3, let's make it 50% rounded corners. This will make it into a circle. And let's come down here, a little further down here, and let's check brightness here. If we put it 100%, we make it, it retains its same brightness. If we put 200%, as you can see, it's much brighter. And 300% brightness means it's pretty bright, as you can see in the image. So that's brightness. Let's bring it down to 100%. Okay, so let's go to contrast. Contrast varies by 0.5, 1, 2, 3, and up, rather in small increments. So 0.5 in the contrast. Between the light and the dark, you could see there. Let's make it 1. Let's make it 5 contrast. And you could see with a 5 contrast how the light and darks have really contrasted against each other with contrast of 5. So let's clear it out. Let's bring it back to normal. Opacity. That's the transparency of the object. If I put 0.9, you see it gets a little bit transparent. If I go to 0.5, it starts getting more transparent. 0.3, and it's fairly transparent at 0.3 opacity, all the way down to 0.1, which is almost totally gone. So let's bring it back. Let's clear the box and bring it back to its original value. Drop shadow. We have the ability to put a drop shadow on the image. It could be red, whatever. If we apply we'll say red, it'll apply a drop shadow to the image, but because we have it rounded out in this case in a circle, you won't see that drop shadow because it's such rounded out there. So the drop shadow will not show in this case. Let's see if we could get it to show over here. Let's click the left hand column on this side, and on the left hand column we have this 3 top reasons image. Let's see if we can change the drop shadow on that, apply a drop shadow to it. And as you can see at the bottom here, we have a red drop shadow that's below the image. So now let's go back to our image on the right hand side. And let's go a little further down here and let's look at the other options we have. We have the drop shadow, we have the blur, and that goes by increments of 1. So if we say 1, not too much blur. 3 we'll put in, still not too much blur. Let's put 10. And let's put 100. Okay, if I click on it there, actually you could see it blurring here. Let's do that again. 1, slightly blurred. 2, more blurred. 3, even more blurred. So if we put 10 in there, it should be pretty blurred. As you can see there, the image is very, very blurred now. So that's the blurring. And the final option we have there is grayscale. So if we want a gray object, gray image, we can put a value in between 0 and 100. So at 100, it's pretty much all grayed out there. At 0, picture's normal. If we go to 25, it gets slightly gray. At 50, it's midway. 75, we put in there, and you could see the image getting grayer and grayer, so that by the time it's 100, it's full grayscale, as you can see in the image. So that's a demonstration here that we have of the use of filters on images, plus the modification of the borders on those images too. Thanks for watching.